I welcome you all to the Crypto Singh Show. My name is Gunpreet Singh and I update you about the Bitcoin pricing or other cryptocurrencies or the crypto market or the crypto space. What's happening, what's not happening, what's going to happen, what has happened and what's not going to happen. So I welcome you all to the show, and we had a beautiful live session last night, and it went off really well. And we had the basics of crypto. So anyone who's new to the crypto market, do log in and see that live session. It will answer all your questions. So anyone who's starting or who wants to start or who has questions about this market, so do see that session and you will get all your answers there. So let's talk about Bitcoin. So, well, before we get into the Bitcoin, please do like, share, and subscribe. So what's happening with Bitcoin? So today is a very interesting video again. So what I am basically, we have to understand the relationship between the US dollar and the Bitcoin. Now what's happening with the US dollar or what's happening with the Bitcoin is basically they are correlated somewhere down the line. Now what the Bitcoin is coming down and the dollar price is going up. Now how does this affect? I'll tell you and I'll show you in the charts what the history says. Well, charts are not 100%. I mean, there could be anything, uncertainties in the market. But we try to compare with the charts because usually the human mind or the behavior pattern is pretty much the same. So, I mean, let's see what the charts have to say. And Bitcoin, now what is also there is there's a Fed meeting next week. So they might increase the rate by 0.5%. You might see all the other markets coming down, but somewhere US dollar is going parabolic. So I'll explain you that in the charts. Well, let's get into the charts and I'll explain you there. So before we get into the charts again, please do like, share and subscribe. So getting into the charts, my friend. So this is the weekly pattern of US dollar. So see how this trend is there. Now this is the Bitcoin chart. So this is the Bitcoin chart and this is where the top was of the Bitcoin and this is where the bottom was of the US dollar. Now you see a kind of a bullish pattern here that was being formed, and after this there was an uptrend that was made. And well, so your next question would be that if the Bitcoin price, I mean, here if you see actually the price of dollar was increasing somewhere and kind of the price of the Bitcoin also increased. Well, the price of the Bitcoin also increased is fine. The Bitcoin will increase eventually, but if it's a subtle growth of US dollar, it's fine. But what actually decreases it, if you actually compare this, now you see this kind of a pump that happened here this week, like this green, just see this green. Now you see this dump here of the Bitcoin. So usually what happens is it's not these slower movements like this is pretty much normal with Bitcoin. The problem comes when US dollar becomes parabolic. Now you see US dollar going parabolic here. This is what is happening. Now you see the Bitcoin coming down. Even after the Twitter news, Elon Musk is a huge supporter of cryptocurrencies, and having bought Twitter, it's a big news, and the Bitcoin price still didn't pump up, as much. So it did pump, but then again it could not sustain itself, and then it just pretty much dumped. So this is the relevance, and I personally think now this is going parabolic. Now how parabolic would this go? Or would there be a blow off top for the US dollar? Now that is where the big question lies. But eventually, due to the price increase in dollar, it is pretty much certain. I mean, look at the charts. We pretty much see the price of the dollar coming down. We see the price of the Bitcoin going up. I mean, these charts are completely exactly in a way opposite to each other. That goes down, this goes up. So I mean, just how similar these charts are in terms of behavior pattern. So once it goes up and one goes down, it's just been like that. So, I mean, look, if it's a normal kind of a growth, you will see pretty much a normal kind of a growth here as well. But this has gone parabolic now. Now, this seems like this might be a, kind of a price uh, downward movement towards for the Bitcoin. So this is a kind of a relevant chart with Bitcoin. I personally feel that US dollar is one of the most relevant charts for the Bitcoin. Well, I'm not a financial advisor, do your own research, but usually these charts do play out. And also in the Bitcoin chart, I've shown you that we were seeing bearishness, and in the chart the bear flag is being created. 90% of the times, I mean, you could see my old video. I've told you that, the Bitcoin price might go lower. So I personally right now see that Bitcoin price might go lower depending how, parabolic the US dollar goes. But for now, the US dollar is looking going parabolic. But until unless there's a blow off top, the Bitcoin price will not. I mean, so you have to realize once dollar goes up, all the assets, they will take a backseat because it's basically hedge against the US dollar, or people, you know, believe that the US dollar is coming down, and that is why Bitcoin or gold or any of these commodities would, start taking a back seat. So right now, well, I think the dollar was seeing is seems to be stronger, and also not just the Bitcoin, gold is also pulling back. So, the gold price is also coming down. So I think, next week Fed's meeting is going to be very important. Keep an eye on it. I think around 3rd or the 4th is the meeting. So, I mean, I don't know the exact date, but pretty much near to those dates. So let's see what the Fed comes out with. And if they have an increase of 0.5%, we'll see how the markets react. But I personally think the markets would come down a bit. And we'll probably see that just before the Fed's meeting, because when the news comes out before that, the market has pretty much taken that into consideration. So let's see what happens or what's happening. But this is probably the time to educate yourself, to learn more about crypto, because I think we're in a sideways movement for a longer time. And we still have YouTubers shouting that it's a bull market, it's a bull market. Well, when the bull market would be there, actually, when the last bull YouTuber would turn bearish, that would be the time for the bull market, actually. Because all of these people, I mean, if you look from past 6 months, they'll just be shouting that it's bull, we are going up, we are going higher. Well, charts, I mean, you gotta go by the charts, and they aren't showing any strength for now. But you never know again. But I personally feel when the last standing YouTuber who is bullish right now becomes bearish, that is the time for you to understand it's the starting of the bull market. So that's all for now. This is about the US dollar and Bitcoin. I hope you're liking it. If you're liking it, like, share, subscribe, share it with people, and keep giving love to our content and our channel. Thank you very much. Signing off, the Gunpreet Singh from the Crypto Singh Show. Take care. Bye bye.